Coming to you live from Cave in Rock, Illinois. I'm sitting in front of the cave in the rock.
Mitch, that's not the cave in the rock.
What?
Yeah, it's still further up the road.
Didn't look like a rock.
This place may not look like much to you. It might, on first appearance, look like a cave filled with graffiti. But if I told you that this was, for 50 years, from 1790s to 1840s, a hotspot for pirate activity, would you believe me? Now, while most people, when they think of pirates, they may think of the golden age of piracy, which featured the literal Pirates of the Caribbean, where you had Blackbeard and pirate bases on Jamaica, and you had the Republic of Pirates in the Bahamas. You may have heard of the pirate haven, the pirate utopia of Libertalia in Madagascar. But what if I told you in the state of Illinois, where I'm from, in my own backyard, there is a pirate den. This is Cave in Rock, Illinois, and this here is the cave in the rock. Pirate history. You may not know this, but pirates are one of the first to implement a radical form of democracy. They ignored hierarchies, they were allowed to choose their captain and eliminated him as he wished. And it's a place where equality shone through in places not seen prior. You would see women and minorities as pirates on ships held as equals to the rest of the crew. It is one of the first forms of democracy in action, multicultural democracy in action, anti-hierarchical democracy in action. And though pirates often get labeled as criminals, you can call them villains of all nations. Pirates are the pioneers of what we might call today radical democracy. Located on the Ohio River border of Kentucky and Illinois rests Cave in Rock, which is a natural formation formed by a water erosion, which left a gigantic hole in the cave. The Cave in Rock became a pirate den, a thieves' den for river pirates. This is Samuel Mason's hideout. Samuel Mason was a pirate who was an American Revolution veteran. He fought for the freedom and independence of these colonies from the colonial power of Great Britain. And he came to Cave in Rock, and though people may call pirates thieves, criminals, he actually ejected the first serial killers in this nation's history. Much like the pirates of old, people who were often military veterans or veterans of service went into piracy. Samuel Mason was no different. Samuel Mason and his gang, the Mason Gang, operated out of this cave, and they were one of many to operate out of this cave. This ended up being a place of refuge for those entering the frontier. This was at the time the Northwest Territory. This was unsettled land. This was one of many frontiers that the settlers would eventually have to tackle. And while the river pirates certainly didn't make it easier, a group of brothers named the Harps Brothers certainly made it very hard for everybody. The Harps Brothers were the first serial killers. They killed with a bloodlust. They were loyalists to Britain during the United States' Revolution. They came to the Northwest Territory and they wreaked havoc. It was Samuel Mason who finally stood up and said, "You have to go, you have to get out. This is not acceptable." It is Samuel Mason, the pirate, who finally drove away the people who were causing havoc and destruction. And I mean, as unsavory as people can be, even pirates have standards when it comes to human rights abuses.
Cave in Rock, Illinois can be called a thieves' den. I prefer to call it a pirate utopia. For 50 years, just like the Republic of Pirates, just like Libertalia, this is exactly what Cave in Rock, Illinois provided, a haven for pirates. Pirates have always fought for free and open. Unfortunately, the actions pirates have taken to fight for free and open may not have always been the most savory. However, the spirit of piracy is and always will remain a fight for free and open. I drove to Cave and Rock, Illinois because we saw free and open society in practice within the cave. We now look to spread free and open democracy and society outside of just the pirate realm. In 2006, on New Year's Day, the Swedish Pirate Party formed and entered electoral politics. And pirates now have an opportunity to change what radical democracy means at a legal level, at an ethical and political level. And the United States Pirate Party, the second pirate party in history, are committed to upholding that. I drove to Cave and Rock, Illinois because I wanted to share part of our history as pirates. The theme of this conference is Piratey McPirateface, as decided by the Discord. We said, what should we name the conference? Should it be this? And everyone said, yeah, that's funny. We're still upholding radical democracy, even if it's a little more tame nowadays. And that's okay. That's better. We are a much more democratic society than we were. People don't have to resort to underhanded means to meet a means to an end. The society we live in today wouldn't have been possible without pirates. I brought you all to Cave and Rock, Illinois, because this is where pirate democracy has a little bit of a history. And while it may not be the most savory history, it's our history nonetheless.